Alright, in the previous video we took a look at depreciation in general, and we went over the straight line method of calculating out the annual depreciation. Here we're going to take a look at the declining balance method, and again, as mentioned before, the most commonly used rate is 2.0. So a declining balance method is considered an accelerated method, meaning there's a higher depreciation expense in the first year of the asset's life, and then less during the next years. So in straight line depreciation, we learned that it was the same amount every year, basically, other than possibly in the first or last years might be different depending. Okay, and so, but here we're going to have lots of depreciation the first year. Now, why would we want to do that? Well, it's felt that when an asset is first new and we're using it, it's at its most efficient, we're using it the most. As it gets older and we're having to put more repairs into it, and we're not using it as much, we're not getting as much use out of it. And so the depreciation cost allocation method should also reflect that if we are truly concerned with the matching principle, which says that we should match the expense, depreciation expense, with the revenues they help to create. So if that machine is helping us make more stuff in the beginning, then more expense should be shown of that machine. So that's the general idea of an accelerated method. And so the declining balance method is the most commonly used of the accelerated methods. And what we do is we take the straight line depreciation rate, and then we multiply that times a factor that's somewhere between 1.0 and 2.0. The most commonly used of those is 2.0. So in other words, we're taking the straight line rate and multiplying it by 2, which is doubling it. And so we oftentimes call that the double declining balance method. Then we're going to take that new rate, that doubled rate or whatever, and that rate is going to stay the same every year. But the amount that we multiply it by will go down as the accumulated depreciation and book value. The book value goes down. So we need to figure out the straight line rate first, and that is going to be done by taking a 1 on the numerator and then our estimated useful life in the denominator. So in the previous video, for the example, we said that the total cost of the asset was $10,000, and that we had a $1,000 salvage value that was estimated and a 4-year useful life that was estimated. So now, to get the straight line rate, we take 1 divided by the estimated useful life, which is 4 years. 1 divided by 4 is 0.25, or 25%. Okay, so now we're going to multiply that 25%, assuming that we use 2.0 as our factor. So we would have the 25% times 2 is 50%. That would be our rate, and we would use that same 50% rate the whole 4 years, other than at the end we may do something different because we will never actually if we use a rate, we will never actually get down to the book value that we need to get to. So at the very end, we'll change that. But until then, we use the 50%. Now, you can use a different factor, somewhere between 1.0 and 2.0. So you could use 1.5. So you would take 25% plus times 1.5. That would be 37.5%. And that's the rate you would use. So you don't have to use the 2.0, but that is the most commonly used factor. Okay, so in this case, for the first year, we take our cost, because the original cost of $10,000 is the book value at the beginning of year one. So $10,000 times our rate that we calculated, which is 50%. So 10,000 times 50% would be $5,000. So if you remember from the previous video, when we calculated out straight line, that was $2,250 per year of depreciation. Here, on year one, we're taking a whole $5,000 of depreciation. So you can see there's a lot more to be taken at the beginning. Okay, now we'll calculate out the second year's depreciation. Okay, we're still going to use the 50% rate. We have to figure out what is the book value at the beginning of year two. So at the beginning of year two, we took the cost minus the accumulated depreciation. Well, at the end of year one, we took $5,000 of depreciation. So that's our accumulated depreciation at the end of year one. So our cost minus the accumulated depreciation gives us the book value at the end of year one, which is the same as the book value at the beginning of year two, okay, which is just the next day. So the 10,000 minus 5,000 gives us the book value at the beginning of year two of 5,000. We then multiply that times 50%, and that's going to give us 2,500 is going to be our depreciation for year two. For year three, we need to first figure out the book value at the beginning of year three. So we have to take the cost minus the accumulated depreciation from the end of year two. So at the end of year two, we had 7,500 of accumulated depreciation. The 5,000 we took in year one and the 2,500 we took in year two. So 10,000 minus 7,500 gives us 2,500 book value at the beginning of year three. We multiply that times 50%. And that gives us 1,250 for the third year. Now we get to the fourth year. The book value at the beginning of the fourth year is $1,250. Okay? And so if we take that times 50%, that'd be $625. But we only have book value of $1,250, and remember that because the salvage value is 1,000, our book value can't go below that. Our accumulated depreciation can't go above 9,000, and our book value can't go below 1,000. So if I subtracted $625 from this, I would end up going below the 1,000 book value. So I can't take the whole 50% in year four. Now that I'm at the end, I just have to say how much is left, and that's how much I'm going to take. So we have $250 left to get us down to the book value of 1,000. Okay? 625 is too much. We can't do that. We have to only take $250. All right. So at that point, we have our depreciation schedule showing our original cost as being the beginning book value, how much we depreciated the first year, and our accumulated depreciation, and 10,000 minus that is that. Second year we took 2,500, that plus 5,000 is 7,500. 10,000 minus 7,500 is our 2,500 book value at the end of year 2. Year 3 we calculated out 1,250, that plus 7,500 is 8,750. Total accumulated depreciation by the end of year 3, 10,000 minus 8,750 is 1,250 at the end of year 3. But again, I can only go to 9,000. From 8,750 to 9,000 is only 250 more that I can do. And then once I subtract that 9,000 from the 10,000, I have book value at the end of year 4 of 1,000, which equals my